真っ赤に燃える勝利をつかめと轟き叫ぶバークネスゴッドフィンガー
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm gonna welcome back myself, actually. Oh yeah, so the RG Gundam, RG Gundam, or Burning Gundam if you prefer. I got just the shirt for it. I actually made this shirt a while back because I was planning on making a video for the HIRM Gundam, but I never got to it. Just gonna wear it for this video. If anyone's interested, you can just DM me on Instagram or email me. It's not being sold in my store, but I can probably make one for you if you want it. I didn't expect this soon that they're gonna release RG version of the G Gundam model kits. So G Gundam is supposed to be the most movable RG ever. I think this opens the door for other G Gundam RG as well. But they haven't done anything in the HG yet, have they? RG Gundam is gonna be released next year in June for 3850 yen. So that's like 40 bucks in the US. A little bit of trivia if you don't know yet. The reason the US called it Burning Gundam instead of Gundam was because when Bandai was trying to get in the US market with G Gundam, actually G Gundam came after Wing Gundam in the US. So when Bandai was trying to get into the Gunpla market of the US at the time, they released Death Size Hell in Walmart, and someone from Walmart didn't like it, so the return of the Death Size Hell because the name has hell in it. When they tried to get into the market with G Gundam after the success of the Gundam Wing, they released G Gundam in the US. So when they try to release it, they worry about offending the US market with the main Gundam called Gundam. So they changed it to Burning Gundam. And of course, they decided to change the name for Devil Gundam, which is probably a good call because if Walmart didn't accept Death Size Hell, they probably wouldn't accept Devil Gundam, right? What an offensive name. Spiegel Gundam was Shadow Gundam. Spiegel is just not really, it's a weird name to remember for the US. Ninja Gundam would probably be a better name. Yeah, I've always liked Gundam. I like Domon as a character. It's actually one of my favorite characters. Looks good, very detailed. It's a good change. The MG and the 140 skill are the simple versions. Yeah, look at that pose. That's a nice pose. And this pose is from the opening of G Gundam, and it's not done by the Gundam. It's done by Master Asia and Schwarzbruder, who does the fusion pose with Schwarzbruder. I think I might have done it in the show actually. I might be wrong. For Gore, head has you can extend the head like that. To make it more poseable, they add a little bit extension to all the joints. So for example, the shoulder has a slight hidden extension inside the torso, so you can actually extend and give it more range. So when you do a pose like that, your shoulder blade goes forward. So instead of having the shoulder blade going forward, it extends part of the shoulder joints coming out from the torso, and then it pushes the shoulder piece forward. And that's what they did here. Same thing for the head. You can see here how it's small section that's hidden inside the head. Extend the head a little bit. It would increase the range of looking down and looking up. Of course, here the kneeling pose, which is really hard to achieve in the Gunpla. I imagine it's very difficult because they haven't really done it perfectly up until like High New Gundam, and I think I mentioned it in the last one. You can see here how they did it is that they make the back of the thigh has a little piece that sinks in, kind of like the similar detail in Dynaction Evangelion. Allows space for the calf to when it bends down. Then you have the folding arm action here. I think this is the best you can do with the actual folding because you have to allow for the volume of the forearms. But this is the best you can do. The kick, that's really impressive. Typically, problem with these kicks, the skirt armor would be in the way, but it looks like they figured it out by moving the pelvic part slightly forward. This allows the RG model to be able to kick vertically up. See how the pelvic part is actually bending slightly forward like that? It allows it to kick so high. I think the Jean-Claude Van Damme pose can be achieved by many RGs or MGs, but the issue is usually the side skirt armor. Usually the side skirt would be in the way, but it looks like they've solved the issue. And gradations on the rings in the back. So instead of attaching into the six fins, it's attached to a separate clear piece, which allows the six fins to bend backwards. The HIRM, the rings are attached to the wings, which means the fins has to be planar. But then in this case, this allows the fins to be able to move instead of being stuck planar. Clear part for the hand, it's just so exciting to me for some reason. It's just such an interesting piece. I always really like the shining finger and also the god finger or the burning finger, however you want to call it. I don't know if the hand is exactly like in the anime. The hand is actually like the Star Trek Spock. Spock, right, from Star Trek. The fingers are actually bending upwards instead of doing this. It's doing this in the anime, and then the armor actually goes over the top, right? But then here it's showing the fingers going up like that, kind of like shining finger. Shining finger is like that. The god fingers are like this. I guess when you do this is for the Sekiya Tenkyoken. They could have made a different hand for the God finger, but I think they just combined it. It's not a big issue. Just pointing it out in case it's an issue for some people. The back, yeah, man, the back looks fine. And look at the high kick. That's really nice head kick. A roundhouse kick, that's how you get more power. Your hand would nap to the back. That's an actual good pose. Your hand actually goes to the back. That's how you get more power when you kick. When your hand is like that. My point is that's a really good pose. So yeah, so this kid, they try to make it as close to human as possible. I think they tried to do that in the HIRM as well. I don't think it can do as good of a head kick as the RG. And look at that hand. Look at that hand on the kick. That's a good hand. Really good hand right there. I got all excited, but yeah, that's a really good pose. I like that. I think this is good. This is exciting. The only thing I'm not a fan of are the gray pieces. I think it just makes it too messy. I know what they're trying to do with the gray. I think the gray, they're trying to make it just make it look like more detail. But I think the gray could either be lighter or just be white. Especially in the head. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think the gray could be lighter. Like in the MG Wing Zero, or have no gray at all. Just make it white. This is going to be a very good kid. Very exciting. If you want to look back on the MG. So when MG Gundam came out, I was really excited. They said the MG Gundam is supposed to be like the most poseable. That's false advertising. It's not very poseable. I would say the skeletal part of the MG Gundam is poseable, but it's not poseable at all after you put on the armors. So MG Gundam and Shining Gundam, Master Gundam, they're not very poseable. Spiegel Gundam as well. I like them, but they're just false advertisement. They're not as poseable as they claim to be, which is kind of disappointing. The HIRM is poseable. The HG Gundam is also not as poseable as it should be. So this is actually a very exciting release if you look back. I mean, you can always get the Robot Spirit version, but that's a little bit old. So, and this one is newer, so you might as well just get this one. You know what they forget to show are the shoulder cannons. Yeah, there's a joint for it. So there's a joint for it for the shoulder cannon. So I'm sure that can open, but they didn't show it. I'm sure they'll save it for later or something. Yeah, I think this is exciting. I think this is very exciting. So future releases, what are they going to release after releasing the Gundam? So of course, the golden version, probably P Bandai, the hyper mode Gundam. Maybe Shining. I think Shining would be kind of interesting to see as well. Gold Shining Gundam, hyper mode, the hyper mode of the Master Gundam. Maybe they can share some of the internal frame. That could be nice. Or even like the Shadow Spiegel Gundam, the Ninja Gundam, Schwartz Bruder. Such a cool character. They haven't even released all the other HG version, the G Gundam characters, huh? Hopefully they will release that soon. Good kicks, good movement. I'm not sure about the gray parts, but that's fine. We can just paint them. We'd love to see some effect parts. You know that the boxing ring thing, the red thing? Maybe I'll make that. If you want the shirt, you can DM me on Instagram or just email me. Yeah, so that's it. Let me know if you're excited about this. Let me know your likes and dislikes in the comments. Give this video a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.